Welcome to the Dysfunction Junkies podcast. We may not have seen it all, but we've seen enough. And now, here are your hosts, Chrisy and Kerry.
Hello, Dysfunction Junkie family. How is everyone doing out there? Chrisy, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, I guess. Thank you. We're started a new year and we're moving along, I guess.
Yes, we are. So we're like, what, a month now, basically almost into the new year. And the weather is disgusting here in Northeast Ohio. And I'm trying to get this marathon training done. And this weather is not cooperating.
Oh, no. You gotta.
I'm doing the gym. Like I go to the gym. I do all that stuff. But to get my outdoor running done, it's not happening whenever it's negative teen wind chills and 20-degree weather and snow and ice. Yeah, screw that.
Do I need to maybe be in a car in front of you and sort of maybe try to clear the road for you as you run behind the car and I'll cheer for you? Go, Kerry, go, Kerry.
I think I need like a heat blower is more of the thing. It's not the desire. I've got the desire to run. I've got that down. I just can't stand this weather. It does not help my diet and my exercise routine right now. So
I could also have a music playing, the Rocky theme for you to inspire.
That would be good. Yeah. All right. Well, if this weather lingers much longer up here, then we might need to, take some, extreme measures on that.
Yes.
So,
well, hopefully we'll get through it somehow.
Yes. Yeah. So dieting seems to be a good topic for this time of year, a month in after all those New Year's resolutions and everything. And Chrisy and I were talking about the dysfunctional diets over the years. So Chrisy, take it away.
Because I am the queen of dysfunctional diets. Unfortunately, they were encouraged for me. I don't know why, but they were. Yeah, I just always wonder why we're encouraged to make that resolution.
Yeah.
That we're going to get healthier in the new year. Were you that unhealthy in the year prior or in many years prior? Or
right.
Did you just completely go out of control in December?
Exactly.
And I wonder if the push to be healthier in a new year encourages us to be completely part of just a debaucherous lifestyle.
Yes.
The month prior to the year ending.
Yeah. For the last 6 weeks from November till, January or December 31st. It's out of control. I mean, all the food, all the cookies, all the pastries, all the parties, everything for those last 6 weeks. I have no food control, no self-control when it comes to food, whether I'm on a diet or not, or just right. So yeah, the last 6 weeks are horrible. So you're right. That probably is why it leads up to the New Year resolution of, I gotta now lose the extra 10 pounds I put on plus the whatever I put on for the whole year before.
We should do a where you're totally healthy.
Yeah.
And or totally unhealthy, like January through October. Oh. And then you just try to be completely healthy and just completely trash everybody else who's around you trying to have a good time. Like you're being,
right.
The healthy one. But yeah, it does. It's a crazy thought to have be healthy.
I know. I give credit to the people that plan their meals and have it all packed in the little boxes and, they bring it to work and, we're going to have a lunch party at work, and they, oh no, I can't eat all that yummy. I have my little chicken breast and my whatever. I wish I had that control. I wish I had that desire. I wish I could be that committed, but I just look at that and go, how are you living? How is life enjoyable when you're doing that? You're living out of the bento box.
Well, if you really like that type of food, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But, denying yourself is a huge part of the problem, and you just got to try and be reasonable. This has all taken me a very long time to figure out, and I will explain because I have been on so many horrible diets. I was just making notes about what we were going to talk about today. And I have to tell you that I believe that I probably have lost enough weight and gained enough weight back to probably have created one whole full-grown person.
I believe that.
Because when you want the quick fix of the weight loss, especially when you're younger, and I think we've become better in general with understanding that the quick weight loss is not good. I'm sure there are still people who just want it.
Yeah.
But when you're younger, you really want it. You're just in a hurry.
Got to get into that dress or got to do whatever.
The bathing suit season's coming up. I have been on diets that have dropped a lot of weight quickly when I was younger. I could go on those diets now. Ain't going to happen.
Nothing.
Because I'm just at that age where your body's just going to fight against that.
So, no, thank you.
It's going to hold on to all that fat because it's like, you're not young anymore. You better keep all this for nutrients because you're going to need it.
You're so cute if you think you can do that still. Your body says to you.
You kind of think, oh, maybe I'm still... No. Diet required me to limit my calories to 600 calories a day for a few days, then bump it to 9.
Wow.
Then for a whole week, which was like a splurge, you went to 12.
Wow.
All of it had menu plans.
And you were able to follow this and stick to it.
Once I got into the mindset of it, I was. And when I was younger, I would be on that for 3 weeks. And I know people are going to say this is impossible, but I literally would drop 15 pounds in 3 weeks.
Oh, I believe it. I
was very hungry and I was exercising. Yeah. And then you had 1 week off. So it was a 3-week commitment and then you had a week off. And
did you just go crazy for that week?
You go crazy. So usually I would
gain back 5 pounds.
5 to 7 pounds back on and then you do it again.
Oh my God.
I did another crazy. I was so mad. My mother generally would encourage this to do these diets because I think she was of the opinion that dieting like that was healthy, especially if you were losing weight.
Yeah.
I ate parsnips. I don't even know if I could find. If I saw a parsnip in a store, I'd probably freak out.
I'm sure you would.
But it was all parsnips. Yeah. And I was like really hostile about that one with my mother because she kept making me eat. And she kept trying to prepare them in different ways for me.
Yeah.
I stuck to it. And after a week of parsnips, I lost nothing.
Oh my God.
And I was so angry. So angry.
I can't imagine that. I would have cheated. I would have been like, okay, Mom, I'm eating your parsnips. And then shut the bedroom door and out come the candy, out come the chips.
Yeah.
I give you credit for sticking to it.
I did, but it was all at a cost. It was not because once you had time off or you decided you were going to take your break, you went so crazy.
Right. You went the other end.
Basically just destroyed
nullified
everything you did.
Right.
And then I did have another diet, which was really weird. I don't know. I can't remember any of the other menu parts of it except that it told you to have vanilla ice cream and raw hot dogs. And I would take and cut up a raw hot dog. And I would stick it in the vanilla ice cream and I would eat it. I don't remember if that diet was successful or not.
I'm having flashbacks. And when we talked about New Year's Eve and we were talking about hot dogs and the sauerkraut and all that, like it's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, no, hot dogs and sauerkraut's fine. I don't know that you should put hot dogs in ice cream, but they were raw.
What's the difference between a raw hot dog and a cooked hot dog?
Well, because it's cold and the ice cream's cold. I don't know if you want to put a greasy, warm hot dog in your vanilla ice cream.
Oh, Chrissy.
I mean,
well, I'm trying to rationalize what is the nutritional gain? Like, what was the theory behind this that was making you think that?
I don't know. I don't know if at that young age,
Google this.
I was in high school, and maybe when you're that young, you hear the term sugar rush.
Yeah.
Which doesn't exist for me anymore. As soon as I eat anything sweet,
I'm Googling this as you're talking. Hot dog and ice cream diet. What?
Well, don't say the name. I remember the name of the diet.
I won't say the name.
But if it even comes up, they may tell you, do not ever do this for it will ruin your health. But as I've gotten older, I learned that.
Oh my gosh, it really is a thing.
Is it?
It is.
Is it? Yeah, it is. It's a thing. Everybody in my room right now is good. DJ Nick's on his phone. Carrie's on her phone. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Does it explain why
I'm trying to get to that
beneficial
point.
To do that? I would hope, because this was 35 plus years ago, but
this diet works and there is science that says it's dangerous. No freaking way. Of course so.
Yeah, it was
oh my God. That's and your mom.
Yeah, my mom did encourage this because I was supposed to look a certain way.
Right.
I wanted to look a certain way.
Right.
So that's most of my teens and into my 20s and early 30s. Probably the best thing that happened to me was when I decided to start a family.
Right.
And I decided to get healthy.
See, I never really thought about my weight growing up.
You're very fit. If you can run, which you're doing and you've done in the past, there is a level of fitness you have that I have never achieved.
Well, but I always have to remind you, but when I run, I always got that stitch in my side. And it's only kind of recently that I've learned how to control that. But weight was never an issue. I mean, food was always an issue for me. I mean, food in my family equated love. Food in my family was comfort. Then there was the whole ice cream meant we're going to have some kind of very uncomfortable conversation. So there was that, kind of bad association of food. As much as I never really thought about weight, like I couldn't even tell you how much I weighed in high school. I have no idea. I don't know if I ever stepped on a scale other than in a doctor's office.
You were thin. I remember you. You're beautiful. You're still beautiful.
But
and you're taller than me too, damn you.
So funny.
Height helps.
Yeah, height does help a little bit. It wasn't until I graduated from college and I was working at a major theme park and was performing on stage where all of a sudden I became conscious of my weight. Although they never said it to me, but I remember the women and the young girls I worked around with, that there was the people that were in charge of our performances or whatever, that they would get on them about their weight. Now, I know I was heavier than them because these girls were wearing like a size 4 or size 6. I don't think I ever fit into that. Like, I never remember wearing clothes that small. But for whatever reason, they didn't get on me. And I think part of it was that I was a strong personality. So I think my bosses kind of knew, like, you pick on me about weight, I'm going to be really coming back at you. But I did become conscious of my weight. But at the same time, I think at that point in my life, I did have a good metabolism. And with the jobs that I was doing, I exerted so many calories a day. It didn't matter what I ate because I wasn't going to eat as it just did too much. Scuba diving and doing all the things, it was just so much output. So I got to eat whatever I wanted. But then when I got a grown-up job, my body still wanted to eat like that. And I couldn't do it anymore because, now I had a sedentary lifestyle. So
activity is definitely a plus. I would have to say activity in your mind should be important. And not to go crazy, though. Don't be overdoing it. But I subscribe now to, I try to commit to 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week.
Oh, that's good.
And I think that's sort of what they recommend anyhow.
Yeah.
And it's doable. If I try to do any more than 30 minutes, physically I could.
Yeah.
But if I did, I think I would discourage myself because then it would become more effort and I would get upset with having to be away from my family or away from something I want to do.
Right.
The other thing, I don't want to promote anything, but what has worked for me is not an extreme level, but the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
I do agree that they do say that it's probably good to give your system a break from having to work to when you eat, digest and everything else. So the fasting is good. So I do like that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes I intermittent fast and it's not because I'm doing it on purpose, but because I didn't maybe start out my day eating something. Right. And then I get busy.
Yes.
I get very hungry.
Yep. Then the hangry.
And then I probably eat stuff I should not or a lot of it.
Yes.
But when I was younger too, I was so extreme. So probably that was why I was fairly successful at maintaining these horrible diets.
I still can't get over the ice cream and hot dog. I can't.
Because when I did something, there was like no middle ground for me. And I've tried to get better as I've gotten older. I am definitely they say there's a gray area. It's not always black. It's not always white. But for me, it was either high or low. And there was nothing in the middle. There was no way to negotiate.
Right.
And so if I was not eating, I was not eating.
Right.
And if I was eating, oh my God, was I eating? Yeah. I mean,
and that's kind of funny because my personality, I am very, very black and white. Like, this is right, this is wrong. These are the rules, these are not. Everything is like that, very rigid for the most part. And then there's not a lot of gray. Not when it comes to food and diet and exercise. I for whatever reason, that does not translate over into my brain there. So I don't have that commitment. Now, I can get committed to so many things, though. Like, it's not a lack of commitment and everything. If I have a goal, I'm going to achieve that goal. In fact, my son probably about a month ago, said something, and it was like so endearing to me. We were talking about some future plans, and my son said, when has Kerry ever planned something and it didn't happen? So like that showed me that he recognizes that when I set a goal, that it happens, I make it happen. But why can't I stick to a diet then? It's the same. I can't. When it comes to food, it's a bad relationship. Just not good.
I think that the fact that you're committed to just being a physical person.
Yeah.
And I don't see you eating extreme food.
Oh.
Well, I know already.
Did you not see me chow down when we went and got tacos and tequila?
No, I didn't. Well, you didn't seem to eat any more or less than anybody else. No, but it's just, you definitely can commit yourself. And I remember this from the fact that from high school and early on. I mean, you said, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
And you would do it.
Yes.
I probably took the approach that don't say you're going to do anything.
Yeah.
And don't do it. And then no one's disappointed and you're not disappointed. So I am very distracted easily. And my brain goes in all different.
Yeah.
I guess I have a focus issue.
Yeah.
I know I do.
Right. But you're able to focus when you commit to these crazy turn-up diets.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. But back then you did.
I tell you something. The last time I went on one of these crazy things.
What was it?
It was probably after I had my daughter. Mm-hmm. Although I really was fairly fit and I did not gain. Mm-hmm. I gained the same amount of weight with all three of my kids, which I only gained 12 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Through each pregnancy.
That's
and
great.
I generally afterwards lost that and then some, just my activity level and things I was doing. I did try to go on after my daughter an extreme diet that I had tried in the past because I was like, I just really want to lose this much and I know this diet used to work for me, so I'm going to do it. My gallbladder gave out on me.
Oh.
Now, it probably was bad already because
from the ice cream and hot dog diet.
Well, maybe, or something else. But I mean, I had a severe gallbladder attack. It was pretty funny because I didn't I used to get like heartburn and stuff, but I like spicy food. So I just assumed that was it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it hit me and I can't say it was because of that, but it was close to, and it was actually, I was on my week off. So I was like eating.
Yeah.
And I remember laying in bed with this pain in my upper stomach. And I said, cause I ate a bunch of spaghetti the day before. And I was like, I called my husband and I said, he was not home. He was out of town. And I said, the spaghetti, it's not digesting. It's stuck in my gut. It won't go anywhere else. And I'm in pain and I ate too much. And then when I called the doctor and I told where the pain was, they're like, oh, honey, you need to go to the emergency room. It's probably your gallbladder. And it was.
Oh, my God.
And I was so upset because, number one, I had never had any major surgery outside of having a baby.
Yeah.
They were going to have to take, and I'm like, well, wait, I was born with all this equipment. You're going to take something away. I don't know that my body's going to want to be missing that, you know, and they're trying to tell me, but it doesn't work. It's not doing what it's supposed to anymore. I'm like, are you sure? Because, you know, sometimes you take stuff.
I know.
And then I'm like, whoops, no, it was fine. You can't put it back after that.
Exactly. Take it out and you still have the pain. Oopsie.
Yeah. But it was hilarious because I actually had it like Easter weekend that they had to do the surgery to get that gallbladder. And they were able to do it laparoscopically. I
was just going to ask you, laparoscopically.
Which they were, but the surgeon did not know for sure he's going to be able to do it. Because I guess the stone was enormous. And when they took it out, so my incision was a little bit bigger than normal for that. But they were able to pull it out. And the guy, he took it out to the room outside to the waiting area where my husband and some other family members were waiting until I was finished. He had this thing in a jar. He showed it to him. And my husband said, it looked like a black Easter egg. It was perfect. It was huge. And it was black. And the doctor was amazed that I never had anything prior to that.
Okay, now here's the big question. Do you still have that black Easter egg? You didn't keep it?
No, but I bet you he
uses who keeps everything.
He probably uses it a paperweight on his desk. I wish somebody, you know, because when I had this happen, the phone taking pictures thing wasn't
a thing.
I did not get to see what this looked like.
They didn't even show you?
It's probably in a medical journal somewhere. See what happens when you extreme diet? This could be you. Yeah, it could be. So watch out when junkies do not extreme diet. It's not worth it. Don't encourage your kids healthy lifestyles. I try to tell my oldest daughter, look, don't worry about how you're beautiful. And she is, stay active and just eat healthy. And that you've got to tell people that. It's very important. Nobody ever told me that. Not one person. And the other thing was, my mother always pushed music. And I'm not crapping on music programs. Music is important. I am very glad I can read music. I can play to some extent. It was enjoyable to some level. But that was all my mother was interested in encouraging me to do.
Oh, for a career.
For anything. Any extracurricular activities.
Oh, I see.
It was all music.
I get where you're going with that now. Okay.
And I don't want to be like, hey, I'm the greatest. I'm not the greatest, but I am fairly athletic. I am good at many different sports.
And you were given that chance growing up.
I was never, ever told you should go out for this.
Yeah.
You should go out for that. Number one, my father didn't feel a girl should be that involved in sports. And generally, he wasn't interested in really participating.
Right.
If you were playing sports as a girl. I think he would, if I was a boy, I would have shown up. I think it would have been more that they would have had to been committed to. I think the music thing, because it was more, I could stay home and people could come and give you lessons there.
Passive,
It was
passive
less off
parenting.
there.
Yeah.
They didn't have to take me anywhere. Not that my mom didn't. She would take me for music lessons. But I really feel like they should have encouraged the sports thing, because I think that would have helped too. Instead of throwing me on extreme diets and making me sit on a stationary bike, which I still love. I think it's just, that's what I do like to do, the stationary bike. And I think treadmills are wonderful. Any kind of equipment that encourages you to move is good.
Yes, I know. And I think that, that just realized while you were talking about that, a little difference between you and I. So my dad, after having 5 girls, I think he realized he wasn't getting a boy.
Right.
So with me, he did do things like I played softball and, just different things and stuff. But I think it was like, he realized, I guess, you have 4 girls and you have a big gap, and then you get this last 5th one and it's a girl too. This is all you're getting. So if you want to make something out of this, tomboy it is, So I did have a little bit of that growing up. But
let me tell you something else that always amazed me with you and with the people that you were friends with while we were in school. Being in the band.
Yes.
Playing an instrument.
Yes.
And moving. Junkies, but let me tell you this. When I played an instrument, it was stationary like my bike. Like Chrissy's all about stationary. I'll move like crazy, but only one place. It's like a cartoon with me. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm moving like crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that anybody who is in a band, marching band, I'm talking, although I guess a rock band too. Now I was in a rock band briefly, and I would sing, but that kind of movement is, you're jiggling around up there. Look at me move. Yes. A band, marching band that you are able to do those different movements,
the patterns and stuff. Yes.
And continue to play and stay on note. It's a different level of fantastic. Yeah. I give props to that. That is amazing.
I didn't think about that. You're right. Yeah.
And plus the fact that you're carrying something sometimes heavy.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget, because one of the bands I was in was like a competition band, and you had to try out to be in this band. It was like collected from all the different kids in the area, created this band, and we would travel and compete. I was playing the xylophone. Mm-hmm. So it was this really heavy piece of equipment. I swear to God, I think that thing weighed like 50, 70 pounds. Oh my God. It was probably half my weight. So we were doing this parade, and I think we were in Wisconsin doing the parade or something, but it was really long. It was in the summer. It was hot. We're wearing this big uniform. I normally wouldn't have marched with that. I normally would have had the bells, but the kid who was supposed to play the xylophone got sick. So they moved me over to that. So I was marching with this heavier piece of equipment, and we're doing this parade, and I was committed. I was like, nope, I'm making it through the judging stand or whatever. And I mean, it was hard. I do remember, like, I was struggling, and I didn't know at the time the precursors of like passing out, where you would get the chills and, like the shakes and all this other stuff.
Right.
But I had been experiencing that for like a mile while we were on this parade route. And I think everyone around me could tell that like I was maybe going to pass out because they kept trying to take them from me. And I'm like, no, I got it. I'm doing this. I'm doing it.
There's that commitment I was talking about.
Right. But I wasn't dieting. I was, something else.
But you had a goal and you were going to stick with it.
So finally, when we passed the judging stands and I knew that basically our judging part was over, they came over and I was like, okay, fine, you can take this from me. And I'll never forget, they lifted that off of me. It took 2 guys. I mean, that's how heavy this freaking thing was. The parents came over, lifted it off of me, and thank God somebody was behind me, because as soon as they lifted that, boom.
Did you go down?
I started going down. Never had experienced that. And I remember starting to pass out and going down. And I was like, in my brain, what is going on? And I realized what was happening. And I just like, no, you will not pass out. No, like I was still in that competition. Like, no, you can't, this will look bad on the judging or whatever. But yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you're right. I guess marching band was an endurance sport.
It's definitely. So anybody out there who did band or is currently or has children doing band, tons of admiration for that, because it can't be easy. Anybody who's sitting there watching that has to, I would hope, acknowledge that the kids and people who do that. It's fantastic. So.
Well, this was good to wrap up a little bit on where we're at in our dieting month into the year. So what I want to know from the junkies is, I want to know what crazy diets you guys have done or are on or whatever.
Or considered.
Yeah.
And real quick, one other thing. When they talk about dry January.
Oh, yeah. What's that about?
What's that concept
I've never heard of that.
Well, I mean,
only recently.
But
why? Because they're trying to get healthy, I guess, because they drank too much the 6 weeks before.
But isn't the whole, I'm going to join the gym, I'm going to eat better this year, the resolution's not enough. Now they have to also declare dry January, it's dry skin January, because yes, in Northeast Ohio, I'm always like wondering, what the heck is everybody, dry January? How much did you drink, for God's sakes, that you need to be all dried out now? I just imagine somebody in like some tank, just like completely dry. I mean, maybe
I would need to be like a dry July, because we go on our big vacation in June, and that's probably my heavy drinking season of the year. So I would have to do dry July, because the dry January. But I never really heard of that until recently.
We
whole
need
concept.
To start like just throwing stuff in the wrong order out there and confusing everybody. Well, we're like, everybody, dry August. Everybody ready for dry?
It's dry. Or what's the thing they do with the beard, where the no shave November? Oh my God, my husband.
Is that a thing too?
Oh, that's a thing. My husband does it.
Is it for a girl?
No,
no shave your legs. Everybody's walking around looking European.
Yeah, it is. It has to do with, I think it's supporting cancer or something.
Well, that I can get behind.
But it's like a whole no shave thing. But I hate it, because then he gets all like out of control.
Well, what does dry January benefit?
I don't know.
It's certainly not benefiting the industry that sells the spirits.
It's definitely Budweiser didn't come up with that one.
No, I don't think so.
Mogan David, maybe.
Benefits your liver.
Benefits your liver.
Well, you hope, yeah. I don't know, yeah.
All right, well, that could be another thing. Someone find out where this dry January thing came from and tell us. So
yeah, and junkies, I would just say, remember, just eat healthy foods, splurge when you want.
Amen.
Just some minor physical activity will do everybody the best. Don't do extreme stuff.
Yeah, moderation.
Because
balance and moderation.
It leads to many, many years of just unfortunate gain of weight and discouraging
and black egg
positivity.
Gallbladder stones.
And Oregon start, deciding to give up on, trying to do what they're supposed to do, I still miss my gallbladder.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for any, give us any of those comments and feedbacks. Also, wherever you're listening to us from, a 5-star review, follow, everything like that. We sure appreciate it.
We sure do.
All right.
Bye-bye, junkies.
Eat those ice cream and hot dogs.
Yeah, let me know. Yum, yum.